Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning to whenever you might be watching this daily vlog. I just finished work. It was the second day of my current film editing project. And yeah, today is just another vlog where I kind of want to double down on my recommendation why all of you, or not all of you, most of you should start a YouTube channel, especially if you live in a non-English speaking country and potentially if you are in the film industry, industry where you work a lot with other clients or other collaborators that do not speak German, or the main language is then English. And on this project that I'm working on at the moment, as I told you in my previous vlogs, one of the reasons why I was kind of booked for this job was my communication skills and yeah, the way I handle a project. And on this project, there were actually a couple of people not from Germany. One from the agency was or is from the UK, another one from Brazil, and another creative, she is, I think, also Brazil, but I'm not really sure. So a lot of people who are speaking English. And granted, I have been doing a high school year many years ago in USA, so I was always somewhat familiar or good in English because I had to live around Americans for a year and speak English, but that is many years ago. And obviously after a couple of years or even months not actively practicing, you kind of get out of the habit of course, to articulating yourself properly. And especially in a job where you have to articulate what you're doing and articulate or communicate and kind of argument for something creative, it is really important to be as good in English as possible. And I just know for a fact that since starting a YouTube channel, since not only talking in front of the camera in English, but also starting a podcast and kind of be forced to talk to other people in English and trying to keep a conversation going, and more importantly, trying to articulate and explain what I'm meaning or what I'm trying to ask, because it's not always only about speaking or articulating what you have in your mind, but also about asking the right questions so your client or whoever you're working with knows what you mean or what you're looking for, what kind of answer you're looking for. And therefore, having been able to interview people on my podcast and knowing what kind of questions to ask and how to ask them is so helpful. This continuous practice of speaking into a camera in a language that is not my mother language, this is my second language, has been so helpful and has given me the edge compared to my competition, who all are, there are so many incredible editors here in Hamburg, in Germany, and I respect their work and their craftsmanship a lot. But I also know that the reason why so many clients book me on jobs with American or UK directors, or at least English-speaking directors or English-speaking projects where there are a lot of creatives that are speaking English, they know that I can communicate in English very well. And you would be surprised how many people in Germany either don't speak English or don't speak it well enough to actually be able to argument or communicate what they are looking for, or what we are discussing. And that is always really amazing to me, and I'm shocked that so few people in Germany speak English. Not necessarily in the advertising world, obviously all of them can speak English, but sometimes I do notice people getting into the limitations of their English vocabulary to kind of argument, especially when it comes down to creative stuff, to argument what they want to kind of sell or what they kind of want with a specific project or edit. And that is really why I'm hugely advocating or recommending to my fellow filmmakers to make and create a YouTube channel. So you can practice in a, let's say, safe space, safe area where no one is really judging, or it's not mission critical in a way that you speak perfect English. But if you practice it long enough, like I did or have been doing on this YouTube channel, then you will get to a point where it becomes easy to talk to clients in English, in your second language. And I think that is so important. Obviously, I'm not only speaking for German people. It's always great to know a second language, and which is why I'm always, in the beginning, was so amazed that I had so many comments on my YouTube channel when I was starting out who said like, oh, I hate your German accent, or why don't you learn proper English? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, do you actually speak a second language? Because as far as I can tell from your username, you're from USA, or at least from an English-speaking country. And I'm not sure if you speak a second language. So coming onto my channel and kind of criticizing me for not being able to speak my second language as good as you might do, who has been growing up with that language, feels so weird to me. Or also people in Germany also criticize me on my YouTube channel. I'll just do a German accent, German speaking YouTube channel because your English is terrible. And I'm sitting there, yeah, my English is terrible, but at least I'm putting in the work to practice it and to get better, instead of just relying on my native tongue and my native speaking capabilities and just make a YouTube video for all of you who are watching in Germany. And I rather have a video that caters to many people instead of just relying on what I can do. So again, I would highly recommend to start a YouTube channel to practice speaking fluently your second language. And I actually want to kind of shout out Gary W. from Indonesia, who is also putting in the work of making daily vlogs. And he's obviously also is also not a native English speaker. That's the sentence that I wanted to say. And he is putting in the work, and that really shows that his English, his second language, is so great. So good on you for doing all of the YouTube videos and putting in the reps to getting better at English. I don't know how much previous experience you had speaking English before you started YouTube, but looking or watching your current YouTube videos, it really shows how good you are in speaking English. So kudos to Gary and to anyone else who is having English as his or her second language and putting in the work to practice speaking English as good as possible. So yeah, that was my short, I don't know, was it short? Yeah, it's under 10 minutes. Little vlog So don't worry, I wasn't looking at the display of my DJI Pocket 3. I always switch it off, but I have my clock, which I use to attach my DJI Pocket 3 with the magic arm. So if you don't know, maybe watch that video now. In the top right corner, that's the video where I kind of explained how I mount my DJI Pocket 3 into my car, and YouTube thinks that you like the video down here. And don't forget to subscribe and helping me potentially to get to 1,000 subscribers by clicking the button up here. Again, drive safe, switch off the display, off your camera, don't text and drive. Try, if you vlog, treat it as if you are talking into a speakerphone. And yeah, I see you in the next video. Thank you very much.